Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, some motivational, back with another day trading spy recap. Real quick, I want to say thank you all for all the likes, the comments, the subscribes. Thank you for everyone who's with me on the journey. We're literally growing every single day. Literally, every day I wake up, it seems like I got one more subscriber. You know what I mean? To a lot of people, it might not seem like a lot, but to me, someone who's starting off, that's big for me, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. I really do. I appreciate all the comments under the videos, even if y'all are like, even if you criticize me or say, "Hey, you need to do this better." Like, I really appreciate every single comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally no hate from my heart to any type of comment I get. Like, I literally appreciate every single one of y'all. Okay, and so without further ado, let's get straight into the charts. Okay. So coming into the day, we know we had some data coming in today. As I was telling you guys yesterday, we actually had our jobless claims, 4 week average, continuing jobless claims, PMIs, manufacturing PMI, global services PMI, and stuff like that. And pretty much our actual numbers actually came out better than expected. Initial jobless claims 227K, previously 229K, and forecasted consensus 230K. Continuing jobless claims 1,903, 1,903K. It's a weird number. Or am I tripping? 1,867. I don't know. It seems like a weird number. I don't know if I'm tripping. But this came out a little higher than expected. I mean, so that can actually be, as we said, the bad news on jobless claims, like if our jobless claims are a little higher than expected or a little lower than expected, that could actually be pretty good because it's showing that we could get closer to cutting interest rates. And so pretty much all our data came out pretty good. PMI came out better than expected and stuff like that. And so let's get straight into the chart. So today was very frustrating. Was a very not very frustrating, but frustrating because I didn't take a trade and I literally knew exactly what price was going to do. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you guys where I didn't think it was gonna do, and then what I knew exactly it was gonna do. I know sometimes I say this, believe it or not. Why do I not? Why did I not take the trade today? So I'm just gonna tell you guys. So I didn't take the trade. Why? Even though I knew where price was gonna go, is because it be feeling like sometimes when I know what price is gonna do and I take the good trade that I feel like is a good trade, it doesn't plan out. And then on the days where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit back and on the days where I sit back and I'm like, okay, I know what price is gonna do. Let me just watch it play out and see if it's gonna do it. It just takes off and does exactly what I know it's gonna do, and those are the most frustrating days because it's like right here where I would have got in at 582, shot up all the way to 585, and that would have been upwards of 400 bucks easy off 2 contracts, and that's where it is very freaking frustrating. I'm not even gonna lie, like seeing these moves play out, like not even losing money, but just seeing the trade play out exactly how you knew it was gonna play out and then not getting the move. That is one of the most frustrating things in the world because it just feels like you kind of wasted your day. That's what it kind of feels like for me. Like I kind of just wasted it because I knew exactly what was gonna happen. I seen it all play out, and now I'm probably not even gonna have a trade today. So that's one of the most frustrating things. You know what I mean? Still a little early into the day, but we already had such a good move. We swept out these lows, right? The lows from yesterday. We came up, swept out these equal highs right here, reached into this 5 minute fair value gap. It was textbook. Like I'm telling you, this was literally everything I wanted to see. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that I wanted to see why I didn't take this trade on the downwards. Okay, so I should have took this trade on the upwards because I knew everything that was gonna happen on this upwards trend. But then why I didn't take it on the downside, I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, and so you know what I'm saying is, believe it or not, but I'm gonna end up capitalizing on these trades, and then so you guys are really gonna believe me because I know it's hard to believe me when you didn't take the trade, you know what I'm saying? So you could say whatever. But you guys know I like to be completely transparent with you guys. You guys know I show y'all the wins, the losses, where I didn't follow my strategy, the big losses, I haven't really had big wins on camera. I've had big wins before, but on camera, it seems like I can't get a big win, you know what I'm saying? But you guys know I like to be completely transparent with y'all. And so You know what I'm saying? You can believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? But when I start capitalizing on these trades, it will be my proof. Okay. So let's just get straight into the trade. All right. So coming into today, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I thought was gonna happen. So coming into the day, I thought we were gonna have a little bit of relief. Okay. I told you this, guys, last night on my trade recap that we had such a big dump, I could see a relief coming, right? Because usually whenever we have these big pumps, I'll be telling you guys on the next day, okay, I can see a pullback coming because we had such a big pump. Well, yesterday we had such a big dump, and so on my trade recap, I said coming into today, I could see a relief coming, okay? I told you guys what I could see coming, and we did have a little bit of a relief, okay? And so coming in today, I actually didn't expect us to take out these lows, okay? I'm just going to tell you straightforward. I didn't expect us to take out those lows, okay? But when we swept these lows out, and look, I came into my 1 minute. When we swept these lows out, right here, I was like, okay. Because we swept these lows out, we broke up, we kind of just continued in this same little swing, and this is exactly where I wanted to get in long. Exactly where I wanted to get in long right here. Right here. My entry right here, where we had this fill of liquidity right here, I would have had my stop loss at the bottom of this long, and I wanted to take out these equal lows, and that would have been an easy 2.701. Easy. Easy. Why did I see that? We swept out these lows, and I was like, okay, whenever we swept it out and then we started coming up with high volume and big candles, I was like, okay, well, we have equal highs up here. I was like, I know we're going to take out these easy equal highs right here. I already knew it. Oh my God, I'm going to start capitalizing on these trades. So, I mean, because that's going to be my proof. I have no proof of me saying I knew it, you know what I'm saying? But when I start capitalizing on these easy, like these are easy trades. This is easy price action right here. And when I start capitalizing on these trades, that will be my proof. And it's frustrating me not taking these trades, but I know I will get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just me being more cautious, and I've went over it. I'm more cautious on days I should be more aggressive, and then more aggressive on days I should be cautious, it seems like. Because on days where I'm like, okay, I know price is going to do this, I'm just going to take the trade. It ends up going against me. But whenever I'm like, I know price is going to do this, and don't take the trade, it goes the way and it flies to the roof. And it's not me just going off intuition, but it's my intuition back to my strategy, which gets you gains, all right? So this is my strategy, you know what I'm saying? I waited, I didn't get in right here, but I was like, this is where I felt like it was gonna go long, right? But whenever we broke up and broke past this last higher low, or higher high, I mean lower high, my fault, because we had a high, a low, and when we broke that high, creating a change of character, I was like, okay. And then we had to pull back into the fair value gap. So this is where I actually would have got in at, and probably set my stop loss at the bottom of right here and had it these lows. But then that's a less of a risk to reward, right? But so right here, this is where I actually thought that price was going to take off. This is where I'm just showing you where in my head I thought price was going to take off at, right? And we actually had a struggle. So right here is where I actually thought price was going to take off. And we actually had a struggle. I mean, I would have been a little nervous because it would have been close to stopping me out. But that's not where I would have actually took my trade. Why? Because there's no confirmation. That was just my intuition part, where we swept the lows, and I was like, okay, we're going to go to those equal highs easy. That was just my intuition right there. But I wasn't going to actually take the trade. Right here is where I actually should have took my trade, where we actually broke that high, giving a change of character, right? Because we broke our last high, giving us a change of character, pulled into the fair value gap. And if we go to the 5 minute, because, you know, I've had accusations that I don't use my 5 minute. It's the same thing. In the 5 minute, we broke structure, right? But then we got wigged down. So in the 5 minute, it didn't. In the 5 minute, it doesn't really look like a change of character yet, right? But in the 1 minute, we can see a change of character. So it didn't completely align 5 minute to 1 minute. It didn't completely align, but I had such a strong bias right here. I honestly should have just took that trade, because my 1 minute it played out, but on the 5 minute it just looked like he wicked it, right? And so if I go back to my 5 minute, because remember we want our 5 minute to then align with our 1 minute, But on our 5 minute, what does it look like? It looked like it just swept our change of our last lower high, right? It looks like it just swept it, right, with this long wick. And then when we broke it, well, at first we had shot down, right, and gave this little wick, and then we started breaking. And that's probably where we should have took our position in if we wanted to go from our 5 minute. But I would have been I was in my 5 minute, scaled down to my 1 minute once I seen us getting close right here. And actually I was right here when I had my intuition, like I said. But this is where I was actually thinking about long, like actually getting in. But I was like, no, right? I just didn't want to get in, right? Why? Just didn't want to get in, honestly. Was just nervous, honestly, just immobilized, right? Immobilized by fear of losing. And there's always risk on the table, so it's like, regardless, you got to take that risk to get the payout, right? And that is exactly what we did. We had a change of character. We came up. We pulled into this fair value gap right here. Pulled into this fair value gap, shot up, sweeping these highs, and I was like, okay, I am biased long now. After we swept these highs, I am biased long. Why didn't, I mean, I'm biased short now. Like, I wanted to buy puts on the way down because I was like, okay, we swept these lows, we came up, swept these easy equal highs. Like, this is textbook price action. Easy equal highs, swept the low first, and then easily shot up to these equal highs right here. Like, this was so textbook, okay? This is literally everything I tell you guys whenever I'm like, well, I want price to take these lows, and then it doesn't take the lows on the trade I take, and then it stops me out, and then it goes and take the lows. It's literally everything I like want, you know what I'm saying? But on the opposite side today, I would have been like immediately right. It would have took the lows, and I would have been like, okay, I wanted these equal highs, and it immediately took these equal highs. I'm telling you guys, it's literally everything I wanted to play out, and it played out, okay? But whenever we got up here, why did I not take the short, okay? So on my 5 minute, I actually seen we were in the fair value gap. And so I was licking my lips. I was licking my lips. I was eating pork chops. I was ready. I was ready for it, right? Because we pulled into this 5 minute fair value gap to go short, right? And right here, it probably would have been a better position, right? Because we could have our stop loss at the top of right there. Have our entry right here. I'm going to put it right up there. And I'll show you why. And then I wanted to take all the way down these equal lows. That is a 6-1. That is amazing, right? And you never know. We could potentially still get it, but actually, there's a slight chance. I don't really see that playing out, okay? I'll tell you why I don't see it playing out, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I was looking for, okay? So I'm telling you guys, I was looking for all of this right here. I mean, when we swept these. So right here, when we first started out today, I didn't expect to sweep the lows. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, I knew it was going to sweep these lows, and then I knew it was going to shoot up. I didn't expect that, but when I seen it sweep these lows, and I seen it start to reverse, I was like, okay, it's going to come up and get these equal highs easy. And that's where I should have took my first trade, and that would have been upwards of $300-$400, right? And I wouldn't even have cared that I missed this down move. But now I'm really like kind of triggered about it, you know what I'm saying? But so why didn't I take the short on the way down? Because we were in our 5 minute fair value gap, which I already seen and I was already waiting on. But then this is also what I was waiting on, for my 5 minute to align with my my 1 minute to align with my 5 minute. Because as we see, we have the 5 minute fair value gap, but then we have this 1 minute fair value gap, which price did not retreat to. Price went to the 5 minute fair value gap, but it never pulled a little bit higher to touch my 1 minute fair value gap. And that's what I was waiting on, it to get a strong wick on the top of my 1 minute fair value gap, and it would have aligned with my 5 minute fair value gap. That's where I would have took the short at, and I would have been able to write it all the way down. And I'm not even going to say I would have caught this whole move down. I'm not going to say that, you know what I'm saying? But where we had like just a little bit of struggle, no type of retracement, I would have rode it through there. But then down here, when I seen us get these strong white candles, this is where I would have got out at. So say if I would have got in, say if it would have gave me my entry in my 1 minute fair value gap, I would have been bam, and that would have been a 4-1 easy. So today was just honestly a bunch of easy price action. Yes, it looks choppy, but if you look through it, like you guys have been seeing, it's not even me just saying it. Like, you guys have been seeing, I can win on the choppy days, but on the days that it trends, I seem to not be able to take the trade because I'm like, man, there's no way price is that easy. And it's like, I feel like I'm making it a little too hard. because I know all the technicals and stuff. And that's where trading is more than just knowing your technicals. It's about emotions, technicals, risk management, and really emotions and your risk management are the two most important things, because without risk management, remember, our strategy is not going to win 100% of the time, but our strategy is there to win more than we lose. And whenever we lose less than whenever we win, right? And if you just throw your whole account into one trade, that can be the losing trade, and you will lose a lot of your account, right? A lot of your yeah, a lot of your account, right? A lot of your capital. There's the word I was looking for, right? And so that's why you want to have risk management. You know what I'm saying? Like spreading out your capital through trades, because you never know which one's going to be the loser. Yeah, they look good and it might follow your strategy, but I mean sometimes your strategy just doesn't work out. Sometimes price just doesn't play out, right? And so yeah, that's why risk management is really up there alongside your emotions. Your emotions, because you will want to revenge trade. You'll want to your emotions will get the best of you. If you've ever traded in the market, your emotions run extremely high whenever you're putting money at risk, whenever you see the market moving, whenever you want to make money and stuff like that, right? Like my emotions were running whenever I seen it taking off, and then when I started seeing it take off, I was like, I don't want to trend chase it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to trend chase it at all. And as we know, yesterday my emotions got the best of me when I trend chased all the way down here, and then that's whenever it started to get bought up. So it was just way too late. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up losing some. I lost a lot of my profits that I made yesterday, and I should have been up way bigger. So that's where I'm kind of triggered, because I should be up over 500-600 bucks on the week, easy. Like this week was just packed with gains that I should have made, and that's where you get frustrated, right? That's where I'm getting frustrated. I'm not going to even lie, because I should have made so much money this week and just been up and just feeling really good about myself. And I'm not gonna say I feel bad about myself. I still feel good, but it's frustrating whenever you don't capitalize on these trades, right? I mean, we're still overall up 100 bucks on the week, but it's like I could be up about 600. I could have made last week's loss back, the week before that loss back, and I think the week before that I was actually like break even or winning slightly. But I think 2 weeks in a row, I remember I lost 110 bucks. Last week I lost 50 bucks after being up over 200 bucks. Ended up minus 50 bucks, and then now this week I'm up 100 bucks, right? But I should be up about 600, so I would have made those 2 weeks back, and then this week been up good amount, right? So that's where it's a little frustrating, right? When you start thinking about all of that and all of those emotions come into play, and then you want to start just revenge trading and like, no, I'm gonna make money, and I go through those same emotions still, and I'm almost 2 years into trading. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm about a year and a half, so I'm not even gonna say 2 years yet. About a little less than a year and a half, right? I started last February, so about a year and 3-4 months, right? And so your emotions get the best of you, right? And that's why those two are like literally the most important. And then your strategy, because your strategy, anyone can have a strategy. Anyone can find the strategy on YouTube. But emotions and your risk management, that comes with experience through the market to gain those things, right? And so that was pretty frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, not getting the exact entry I wanted on this down move, but then having such a good entry on the up move and not taking it, right? So just knowing exactly what price action is gonna do, and not getting the trade was extremely frustrating today. I mean, it's still 10:30, but I mean, when price gives you these good moves early in the morning, like prime 9 o'clock, 9:15, when you have these good price action moves at those prime moments, you want to take advantage of those so you can just close your laptop and just, go read your book or just continue studying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just get away from the charts. And now I feel like I got to stay on the charts a little longer so I can look for a trade, wait for a good setup. And it's like, that's where the losses come. When you start spending hours and hours and hours waiting for a setup, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where I think today I'm just going to kind of cut it short. Like, okay, I already had such a good setup. I already didn't take my really good setup, my sweep of lows, my easy pullback, my easy entry into fair value gap right here, my change of character, fair value gap, swept these equal highs. You know what I'm saying? Then on the down move, I'm not too mad about it. I'm mad that it dropped from 585 all the way down to 581, that would have been a huge payday. But you can't be too mad because it didn't pull into your 1 minute fair value gap. You know, you want to scale from your 5 minute to your 1 minute, right? So I can't be too mad at that, right? But I'm mad on the upside, slightly mad at the downside because that's still a huge payday. But you know what I'm saying? When you have those huge moves again, you know what I mean? I keep iterating it, but I'm trying to reiterate it. You guys know I like to reiterate it to myself and then, try to reiterate it to you guys because we all go through these same mistakes. We all go through these same problems, these same emotions, you know what I'm saying, as traders. We all go through these things, you know what I'm saying, where we miss a move, where we're immobilized by fear of losing money, and we don't take the trade, and we see the trade plays out, and then we're sitting back feeling mad that we didn't take that trade, and then we want a revenge trade to get the money that we didn't make. You know what I'm saying? We all go through these things, and that's why we got to learn to break out of them and just play it cool. You know what I'm saying? Play it cool and just realize that there's another day in the market. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, it's a little annoying because now I feel like I wasted my Thursday in the market. Not wasted my whole Thursday, but just my Thursday morning in the market. You know what I'm saying? And now I gotta wait for tomorrow. And every day I'm really excited to look at these markets. And so it's like now it feels like now I gotta wait till tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And so it is a little frustrating, but we gotta step back and realize, you know what I'm saying? Trading is a marathon, not a sprint, right? You miss one trade, you miss the train, another train's gonna come, okay? And so that's where we're just gonna be patient, trust the process, and just keep sticking to it. Okay, we're up $100 on the day. We made back last week's loss. We still have some losses to make up. Overall, we have a lot of losses to make up. I'm not even gonna lie, through our whole trading journey. Because if you've been trading, you don't start off profitable, right? And I've lost a lot of money mostly in the beginning of me trading. Recently, like I've gotten a little better. I'm losing less. I'm still down some, but I'm down less than when I first started, where I was over leveraging, throwing whole accounts in one trade and stuff. So I'm overall down, a good amount of money. Not too much, but overall a good amount of money. But recently, I've been getting better at it, right? And so that's just all it's about is getting better overall, right? And so that is pretty much it. We're gonna see what we have coming into Friday. I know I rambled, but I know I rambled over some stuff, but I mean those things are like real life trading things. Like if you trade, you're gonna go through those emotions, and you gotta talk to them. I gotta talk to y'all about them, so I can talk myself through them. You know what I'm saying? Because in my head, I'm like, I'm beating myself up over it. But when I talk to you guys, it helps me get my emotions out and explain to you guys what my emotions are. And I know other traders go through the same emotions, so it's kind of like me having conversation with y'all, and that's why I love doing this for you guys. Okay, and so tomorrow, I mean, we don't really have much. We have Fed Cook speech. Who's this? Long term inflation. Okay, I mean, I'm not reading that honestly. But we have Fed Cook speech. That's at 11 a.m. So I mean, we'll probably be done with the market by then. Excuse me. We have home sales month to month. Home sales regular. Building permits. I mean, I don't think none of this is really important. I don't think tomorrow's data is very important for tomorrow. Let me see real quick if we have any earnings. Oh, we actually have Workday. That's the app I use for my job. But let's see if we have any earnings coming tomorrow that are important. We have no earnings tomorrow. Today we don't really have any important. None of this is really going to move the market too much. And yesterday we actually had bad earnings on Target. They don't let you see the previous day, huh? Yeah, they don't let you see the old days of earnings. So yesterday we actually had earnings on Target, and next week is going to be a big week. Next week we have Nvidia earnings, AI earnings, and Agent Technology earnings. So next week is going to be a big week for sure. But this week was a week where we really could have capitalized on some wins, okay? And that's where it is a little frustrating, but again, I'm not going to keep rambling and going over it, but we just got to stick to the process. And when we miss one train, just be ready for the next one, okay? That is pretty much it. I don't want to make this too long. I've been working on actually having the videos a little shorter, but still making sure that I get all the information I need for you guys. Okay, so I don't want to make it too long. I hope I provided some valuable information for you guys. As I always try to do is give you as much information as I can, show you what I'm learning, tell you guys what I'm thinking, because I know as traders we think the same, not exactly the same, but we go through the same struggles as traders. Okay, and so again, I hope I provided some valuable information for you guys. I didn't trade today. Was a little mobilized by fear, but I'm actually trying to get over that, because I'm reiterating to myself and talking myself through. Just take your trade when it follows your strategy. When you know what price should do, take your trade. Win or loss, you're going to win more than you lose, right? But whenever you don't take the trade on the days that follow your strategy, you're wasting one of those winning days, potential winning days. Like today, I wasted a winning day. And so what if tomorrow my strategy doesn't work out and I lose? If I would have took today, I would have been okay with it. You see what I'm saying? Because, okay, my strategy played out yesterday. My strategy played out the day before. My strategy played out the day before. One loss. Okay, I'm cool. But it's like now, tomorrow, if I take my strategy and it loses, again, like I said last week, that can set me back. You see what I'm saying? So take your strategy no matter what. No matter how you feel, you got to take your strategy, because win or loss, you know your strategy is going to play out more wins than losses. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where I'm working myself through it. Like, just take your strategy, follow your trading process, follow your strategy, and you will succeed. You know what I'm saying? You will have what you want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working through that, and that's where I'm trying to iterate it to myself and iterate it to you guys so we can work through it together, all right? I love every single one of you guys who are with me on the journey. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Remember to study so you guys are not gambling. Remember to have risk management, follow your strategy, and remember to master your emotions, okay? Because all of those things, especially the mastering emotions and the risk management, are two of the most important things. Those two things go before strategy, okay? I love every single one of y'all who are with me on the journey again. And remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate. Make sure you get paid, all right? Peace.